When I first came across this gradient map feature in Adobe Photoshop, I was pretty much amazed. This is a really super fast way to make like a duotone gradient in your images in seconds. Let's hop into Photoshop and find out how. I have a picture open here. That's all I have. That's my only layer. All I need to do is add an adjustment layer. Now you can find it in your adjustments panel. It's the lower right hand. It's called gradient map, as you see there. Or you can go down here to this little half circle filled in guy and go up to gradient map. Either way, it's called gradient map. Now, it's gonna create a new adjustment layer called gradient map, and it's gonna affect everything below that adjustment layer. To clip it to just the singular layer below it, you can hold Option or Alt and click between the two layers to create a clipping mask. So now the gradient map will only apply to the image below it or the layer below it. If you want it to apply to everything else, you can. If you want, you don't have to do the clipping mask. Anyway, already it's created a different mapping of colors in my image. So if I click on this gradient in the properties panel, it's gonna pull up the gradient editor. And what we're doing is we're essentially replacing colors in the image. So down here in the lower left, this is gonna be your darker tones. Even though it's sort of flipped it to white, it's going to be the darker tones, trust me on that. So we can double click on this swatch. You can also click on the color there as long as that swatch is selected. Now this one, I'm gonna make something like a darker blue tone, like that, and hit OK. And now on the other side, I'm gonna click on the black swatch, go down to my color, and change this to something like a really hot yellow. So something closer to the light range of the colors in my image, and hit OK. And just like that, we have our new gradient map duotone effect. It's that easy. Now you can also add other colors in here. If you click just below this, you can add more swatches, change these colors. So if I wanted to add something red in here and maybe pull it back a little bit so the yellow passes through kind of like a mid-tone red and then hits that darker blue, you can do that. So you can adjust these effects in any way that you want. It's actually pretty cool. And then these little diamond sliders, you can move the clipping points of where those colors start and stop. So if we get rid of this orange again and we go back to these diamonds in the middle, there's just the one. So it's kind of like a little tug of war here. Do you want more yellow in the image? Do you want more of the dark blues in the image to pull back some of those colors? Either or, it kind of helps the contrast. Now, if I hit OK here, I can actually add other adjustment layers above this as well. So you're not done. You can always add more brightness and contrast if you want to adjust your image in any way that you want. That's pretty much it, you guys. That's how to create little quick duotone effects in Photoshop. It's a duotone gradient, so it's more of an effect, even though there are more than two colors in the image. I'll create a two-color tutorial sometime if you're just looking to have only two colors in your image, not like a gradient of colors. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'm Spencer from Pixel and Bracket, and I'll see you next time. But before that, there's something that's been bugging me in every single one of these. Ever since I fixed this guy, this X right here, you see that? It's been lower. Just gotta flip it around like that. Pretty sure that's better. I think the X was just flipped around. I guess it wasn't printed in the center. That's bugged me every single time I've edited these.